What's up, guys? Welcome to part 2 of the YZ250F FLIP project. So since, I'm actually just now uploading the video that I took like a couple days ago. Let me turn this fan off. So I'm actually just now uploading that video, but I've done a lot since I've been gone. It's been like 3 days. And today is awesome because the parts are coming in. Everything except for one thing that I'll show you in a second, but the parts are coming in that I will be able to, hopefully, if all goes well, ride this thing today. But there are a few things I need to do, and first we'll discuss a few things that I have done to the bike. So first and foremost, I don't know how well you can tell, but done a good bit of cleaning just on the outside. Obviously there's still some like loose dirt and stuff everywhere, but I did get gasoline and a toothbrush and a towel and just wipe down as much of the grease that was like along here and in the engine and like the front forks and the caliper. I'll show you the carburetor situation as of right now. Here's your carb. I got some of the jets taken out, the float out, all over here. It's all clean. Of course, we're waiting on that one part that's coming in just a little while. So here's the accelerator pump diaphragm part that needed to be replaced, and as you can tell, it's supposed to be fully plastic, but all the plastic, or the rubber I should say, is gone. So that part's coming in today. I mean, the bike ran when I got it, so I haven't messed around too much with the jets. I did check the main jet and the idle jet to make sure they were clean, and they were. So everything in here is pretty good. Just got to put it back together. So the one thing that I ran into was I took off the front brakes because they didn't work the greatest, and I cleaned the pads, and as you can see, my brake line is not attached, and my master cylinder is actually here, and this is the inside of it, and this gasket, probably can't tell, but this gasket right here has some holes in it because when I went to bleed the brakes, I bought some brake fluid over there. When I went to bleed the brakes, they just wouldn't bleed, so I took apart the master cylinder, found that the gaskets were old, and so I have that ordered and on the way, and it'll be here in 2 days. But like I said, all of the other things are coming in today that will get the bike running. I don't need front brakes to at least make sure it works. So today what is on the agenda is, well, first, if I take off the oil cap right here, you will find there's barely any oil in here. You can't see that, and I don't have two hands, but there's barely any oil in there. So I need to go buy some oil, drain whatever is in there, clean off the filter that is under this guard right here. There's a filter that catches the oil that comes from the frame into the engine. So clean that filter. I'm not even going to check the main filter. It should be okay. You don't have to change those as often. I might check it, and if it needs a little cleaning, I'll soak it in some gas. So that's on the agenda, and then other than that, just waiting on the parts to get here. Should be here within the hour. We'll put the air filter in, we'll put the carburetor back on. Another problem I ran into was when I took this off, see if I can find it. This is what was holding the, connecting the carburetor to the airbox, and this screw was already stripped when I took it off. So I'm gonna either replace that screw or just put it back on how it was. It was just kind of sitting on there. Like, I didn't even have to loosen it anyways. But yeah, so I'm gonna get this oil drained, wait on the parts, and then go buy oil after the parts get here, because I have a fear that if I leave, they might want me to sign, which they probably won't. But I've had this happen before where I am not at home and they bring a package and they won't leave it because I need to sign for it. So that is what is on the agenda, and I'm thinking this is only gonna be 2 parts because I think I can get this thing running today and finished. So stay tuned, and I'll catch up with you here in a second when I figure out what to do next. We have a box of parts, and I'm very excited. I've already put on the grips because I was so excited. Got this one on. This one. I got the throttle hooked up top. So pretty much I was over here looking at the carb. here's the new diaphragm piece. It seems to fit. It's got a pretty long stem right here, the little metal piece that sticks out, but I did order the long stem, so I'm hoping that it'll all go together good. One thing I did forget though is I was trying to put this carb together a second ago, and I forgot in which way these jets go on. So I'm about to look at a diagram to get the carburetor assembled, and then I'll put everything together on the bike. And hopefully in just a little while, I gotta go get oil, but then after that, we should be ready to ride the motorcycle. Alright, got the carb reassembled. I think I got these leak and air hoses in the right spot. I guess we'll find out. I don't know how much it matters, but I'm about to reinstall the carb. Alright, so I got the air filter installed, grip installed with connected to the carb grip here. Carb is in. Hopefully all the things inside of it are correct. And I have a new camera girl. I bought her off Craigslist for 20 dolans. I'm just kidding. She just got back from dealing with a bunch of kids, and she said that she would be nice and hold the camera for me whenever I ask her to. She's a really good girlfriend. She just got back, and I'm making her watch me put together this motorcycle. Air filter is installed. Gas tank is on. I had a lot of trouble getting this fuel on that I don't know if it was the original one, but I found it, so I put it on there. So now I'm going to start putting on the new plastics, which is going to, well, I guess I got to put on the back fender first, so I'm going to do that first. I guess so. So this side's really annoying because the bolt is here and this muffler is here, and it's just in the way. It's really difficult.
Here we have Brandon
Dropping stuff. Where'd that go?
How does that make your arm muscles feel?
Well, I'm so swole. Doesn't really matter. I could do this for 24 hours straight. Alright, got the plastics on. Only thing I'm sad about is how much different the gas tank looks compared to the new plastics, but gas tanks are expensive. So all that's left to do now is get some oil put in it and some gas, and hopefully it'll run, but it probably will with my good luck charm by my side.
Aww.
Well, got the bike back together and got it kind of running again, but it's doing the same thing, and there's some white smoke, so I'm gonna call it a day for now, and I'll get back on the same video tomorrow with how it runs, and probably gonna take the carb apart again and try to see what I can do. Alright, so I don't really know my order of clips. Might be a little mixed up, but I do know that my last clip I made was me being kind of sad because the bike was not running properly. Well, that has changed. So here's what happened. I'll try to make it short and sweet. Noah called and he was like, "Hey man, did you put the bike together?" Because I had said that on Monday I should be having it together and hopefully running good. And I was like, well, I got it together and it's kind of doing the same thing it was doing before. And I said I was about to take the carb apart and try to clean it a little bit better and stuff, and he said, well, hold on, don't take it apart yet. Let me come see it put together, see how good it looks or whatever. So I was like, all right. So I pushed it back up the hill, and he pulls up, and he was like, "Can I ride it?" I was like, "Sure." And Noah just learned how to ride my Duke, and you know it's a lot easier to control than this top-end powerful thing. So, but since it wasn't running right, it wasn't giving a lot of power. I was like, yeah, he'd be able to do it. So I bump started it because it still doesn't want to kickstart for me very well. Anyways, bump started it, and I started riding it around my block, and I got to the other side of my block, and it felt like it was working. So I got on the gas, and it was like, dude, it was crazy. It took off full power. It was working good, and I came back across. I was like, it's working. And I was just really excited. But anyways, long story short, what I was doing before I had given up, allegedly, was not turning off the gas. Is something that I've done right now. I was playing with the fuel screw, which is like right up in there, really hard to get to, but that it adjusts like how much fuel goes through mixing with oil and stuff like that, because I had read that that could be a part of it. So what I did was I screwed it all the way in, and they say to turn it out like 2.5 times to 3 times sometimes. So I think I turned it out about 3 times, and that seemed to have done the trick. So it works, and I don't have any video of it because I was too excited, and then I live out in the city, and sometimes my neighbors have called the cops on me because this thing's kind of loud. So what I'm going to do in a second is cut to me riding it in the morning. But yeah, I was just playing. It still needs a little adjusting. It still takes it a second. So I figured I have also been running seafoam through it, so that could be something that's helping. But anyways, I'll cut to me riding it. That's what y'all want to see. So it is pretty much done except for that brake, which I'll be fixing up when it arrives Wednesday. But it runs perfectly fine, so it was a success. And so yeah, I'll show y'all me riding it, and I'll be doing the fine tuning while I'm riding it tomorrow. So BRB. Alright, so I brought the bike out here to the church where I have room to kind of ride and tune, and pretty much think I've gotten it as tuned as I can. It's still not perfect, but I'm hoping that after running some seafoam through it and stuff, it might get a little better over time. But I've adjusted the fuel screw and tried just about everything, so I think it's close enough. It still has plenty of power once you get past a certain point, but I'll start it up for y'all right now and let y'all kind of see the power of it before I leave. I still suck at kickstarting with this compression lever that these bikes have, so I'll just bump start it every time. It works better for me. So I mean, I think it works. The guy that had it before me, he did it first try, so there's just something I'm not doing right. But I'll set the camera up and try to get it in view of me starting it and riding it through the parking lot a little bit here. Alright, so I'll bump start it, and then y'all can see what it does. There it is. So yeah, it's getting better every time I ride it. So I'm thinking that the seafoam I got in there is helping. I don't know. I think there just might be some junk in the carburetor that I missed or something, to be honest with you. But I think it's good enough for me right now. I'm just gonna wait till this brake rebuild kit comes in, and then do that, and then hopefully sell it. So that'll be it for this episode. Thanks for watching.